Hi, let's look at the process of importing tables and views from the database. This is the Easy Manage Builder Studio menu. So we'll also look at our Easy Manage documentation relevant section, and we will import tables from a data source from a cloud database server. So I have opened the documentation in second window. So we are going to look at connecting and importing the tables and views from a database source. EasyManage supports MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, MS SQL Server, and also compatible MariaDB equivalent versions. And for runtime, we support more databases, including Azure SQL, DB2, and more. And then some of the databases are planned. And in the Builder Studio reference, you can look at the information for what JDBC drivers used and what database versions are supported. So for our tutorial, we'll be using MySQL database. So let's go to the import tables. I'm back into the Builder Studio menu. Let's click on the import tables available from a menu here or from the left side navbar here. First thing is to define a database source for your cloud database server. So that will get populated in this list. And then the default is only for system admins. It's not usable, available for the users. So let's go to define a new database source. So we'll create a new record. So we'll have to supply the URL, user password, name our database source, and select what DB type or what database we want to connect to. So here we list the database short form, what driver we use, and in the last column we have what database versions we are supporting. So let's select MySQL for versions 5.6, 5.7, and 8. There are two entries for MySQL. We also support older MySQL versions 5.0 and 5.5, where you would use this entry. So let me name this as and I have so talking about connecting and importing from databases, I'm using MySQL Workbench to connect to my cloud database server, and I can see the objects, run queries, create tables if I need any new tables, and all that. So there are some tables available for demo. There is a product table, there is an inventory table, there is a customer table, and sales inquiry, and then a couple of views are available. We will be importing these objects. So let's use this database URL. This is our database username, and for entering password, I'll just stop sharing. So So once we have the information entered, we can submit, and this database source is available for us. You can define multiple database sources. You can connect to Oracle, PostgreSQL, MS SQL as well, and even you can connect to multiple databases, import objects from different database and build one app out of them, or keep the project separate. It's up to you. So I go back to my import tables menu, and then I have this list for my database source available here. So I'll select the newly created database source. First thing is I could just query the objects. I have like tables and views. So I'll click the display all and submit. So remember, the action list means we are just listing and querying objects. When you do import, it will get the tables imported. So you do it at the end. So let's select what tables and views we have. So these are the tables available for us to import. If I select all up above views, and then it's going to show me views as well. But then it is also showing the system views. So let's qualify them as ERP%. So rather than display all, we'll select ERP%. Percent is a wildcard for listing our objects. So this is what we want to import. We have tables and two views which we want to import. So since this information looks good, let me close that. I will select now get me field level data. You can verify again if you like to see the fields, but I will skip that and I'll just directly also select import option. Then upon submitting, it is going to import those tables and views. And I would suggest initially you keep these defaults checked as they are. So submit. So it is telling us that it has found 6 tables, this many columns, it has processed, and it has utilized the quota for importing. So it has consumed 6 quota for importing these tables, and you would have 50 minus 6 available for your rest of the use. And it will be showing the tables and columns. The last column shows whether the operation was successful or not. So we have imported all these tables. You can quickly go to the Studio Explorer tables menu, and then you would see a new entry that we have imported DB objects on today's date and time. And inside you can navigate and see the tables imported inside Easy Manage. So for example, ERP customers, I can see these are my fields. And as we mentioned before, the first field is treated as key field. And if it's not, you can move them up and down. Also, looking at the tables and columns, there is a menu option to look at all the tables and verify key column link, or I mean quick menu link here. You can also add edit fields, but then you should sync your database schema, a database table actual definition with this new added columns as well. And once you have imported tables, there are a few ways of making selections and then building the app, which we will look in a following sections.